There's one other person that might be hopping in here soon, but I'm going to get started here in a couple of minutes. In the in the meantime, oh, here she is. Perfect. That is everyone. Well, in that case, why don't we go ahead and get started? So let me share. Okay, hello there. Thank you for attending the AI and ADDIE series. In this series, we're going to walk through one webinar per each step of the ADDIE process, as we were talking about before. So this one, I think, were you all in the, so first of all, before I continue with this one is a little bit different if you were in the introduction to AI and ADDIE one. This one is a little bit more interactive since there's three of us here. And this presentation is going to be a lot more hands-on than the introduction presentation. So for this one, I invite you to turn on your webcams. If you have questions or anything, feel free to unmute yourself and just jump in and ask questions as we go. And we'll do kind of like a little bit of introductions here, but let me hop back to this and just kind of get us started here. So in this one, we'll go through analysis. Like I said, in a way, here we go. Let's just start with the introductions. I'll go by the slide. I'm going off my script already. it's exciting stuff. I like talking about this, how AI can help the instructional design process. So just briefly, I wanted to kind of go around the room, kind of who you are, what you do, your experience with generative AI thus far. And if AI could solve one thing for you, if you could just wave the magic wand and have AI solve one problem for you, what would that be in your job or your role? If anyone wants to jump in, you're welcome to, or we can call on people, however you want to do that.
I'll start. Hi, everybody.
Okay.
I'm Terry. Nice
Hi,
to
Terry.
meet you. Hi. And I sat in on the Samuel's course last week, which was super helpful and really interesting, and really gave me a different perspective on using AI in instructional design. I am an instructional designer. I'm also a technical writer. I've been doing this for many, many years. I started out as a tech writer and then made that move, like a lot of people do, into instructional design.
Mm.
And really enjoy it. And I'm really interested in learning more about how AI can help with the content creation part of the tasks and saving time.
Oh, excellent. Okay. So that's the main thing. If you could wave your magic wand, it's the time saving piece of the
And also coming up with ideas
Oh, okay.
for training, like you had talked about at the last meeting.
Excellent. Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. Thank you. Well, thank you very much. Yeah. Thank you for being here. I think we'll get some good info for you in this session for sure.
Sounds good.
I'll go next.
Oh, Yvonne.
Hi, my name is Yvonne Lynham. I've been an instructional designer for about 10 years. I've been on all different sides of learning, and I really enjoy it. And I'm learning more every day as a lifelong learner. AI is phenomenal. It's with AI, I'm able to create a lot faster. It really does save time with content development. And I'm just wanting to learn more to continue my own learning and to hone my skills and just continue to polish my work. And I think AI is an excellent tool for that. And that's the main thing I would want to get, is to continue to learn how to make it so that I can continue to create stronger, better work for my learner. So that's what I'm always thinking about. How do I really reach my learner? Knowing that we don't have very much time with each learner, that we're losing them,
right,
as far as their interest. And so I'm excited to always learn more how to capture my learner. And so that would be my, if I could learn one thing, it would be that, to continue to hone in how to create learning faster and better and more pinpointed to what I need.
Excellent. Thank you, Yvonne.
Absolutely.
Hi, I'm Trish. I'm
Trish?
been an instructional designer for about 7 years, and I work for an accrediting agency. So I work for an agency that accredits radiography programs, radiography, medical dosimetry therapy, things like that. So we have a little bit of a smaller niche on what we're looking at. And so I really enjoyed last week's presentation. So I'm hoping that this can help me because I've never utilized AI in design. I'm the only person that works at our organization. We're really small. There's only 17 of us. So I'd like to be able to do that when we're doing more general topics in terms of communication or professionalism or something like that. But it may be a little bit more challenging when we're talking specific accreditation standards. So I'm excited to jump in and learn more about this.
Oh, that's excellent. Thank you so much. Yes, in the accreditation standards, that's an interesting piece of it too. Back when I was a compliance and accountability dean for an art school in Colorado here for a little while. So we worked a lot with HLC. We worked a lot with NASAD. It was another local, not locals, programmatic accreditor. And this is probably more in the evaluation, but we'll be talking about that, is using AI to evaluate against a set of standards, such as the standards from an accrediting agency, or a curriculum has to be lined up this way. HLC had very similar ones, right? So what we're finding now is that AI can give a very quick preliminary yes, no snapshot. Is this curriculum aligned or not? And we'll get to that more in evaluation, but that is an interesting piece that I'm excited to talk about. So, because it really does kind of change the landscape of this field. So thank you all. Thank you all so much for your intros. And again, jump in if you have questions, or if you want to kind of ask more detailed questions, like you had mentioned, technical writing. So if there's something about like that kind of aspect dealing with the writing that the AI produces, like I said, feel free to jump in and just let me know. So just since you were in the three of you, I think we're in the first one, so I'll just keep my intro super brief. But so I'm Dr. Samuel Helms. I've been in instructional design for 20 some odd years now, working primarily on the building side, working with the subject matter expert, working with the team, and building online courses, programs, whatever that is. And then later on, like I said, with the dean, working at the accreditation level with online learning and in evaluating and supporting learning from supporting the case that students are learning online, right? Equivalency to on ground, things like that. So my experience with generative AI has been pretty much in this field in instructional design. It was last year, early last year, when ChatGPT released ChatGPT, when OpenAI released ChatGPT 3.5. And I started using that a little bit, in this case, the design phase, for outlines to get the course development process started. And once I started seeing the speed with which this could work, and how to kind of nudge and corral AI to produce more accurate and more relevant content to what I'm doing, I became really excited about this. One of the things that I'm asked that I've always liked to do is, like, if AI could solve one thing for me, what would that be? It would be faculty burnout. I see a lot of people in instructional design, like, as we know, creating online content takes a long time. It takes a very long time, longer than it seems like it should be in a lot of times. So I would, work with faculty from colleges, from K-12 or whatever, and they would come and they would usually be assigned to work with me and the instructional designer on developing a course. And their facial expressions is really usually all I needed to see about how enthusiastic they were about that process, because they knew it was going to be a whole bunch of time and a lot of writing on their part. And what I'm seeing with AI is this changes the way it's done. I think from this point forward. So we'll get to that. And that's one of the reasons I was excited about this webinar, is to show you all exactly how I think that is starting to happen. So with that, let me show just kind of a quick, I talked about this a little bit, but the way the webinar is technically an hour. I think of it as an hour, but I schedule them for an hour and a half, because most webinars that I attend online, if you're including Q&A, it goes over an hour. So I included an hour and a half, so we have room for Q&A. But the Q&A does, like I said, it doesn't have to be at the end of the it doesn't have to be at the end, especially once we're in ChatGPT and working with that. Feel free to just jump in and ask questions, and we can pivot and answer questions in there. All right, so let me give you just like a quick high-level overview of how I kind of see this whole thing shaking out. And yes, there will be a recording, and yes, I will send you the recording afterwards, in case you're like scrambling to take down notes and stuff. I will send a recording after Zoom processes all this. Okay. So usually with ADDIE, so I know there's a lot of other models out there, but in my experience and that boots on the ground, like, okay, we have to get the content developed. We have to get the content implemented into the learning management system or into the hands of the faculty members so they can use it in their classroom. It ultimately, whatever the model is, like, so if it's backwards design, we may already have, the design already done, this piece already done. But either way, it tends to boil down to about these 5 steps, give or take. That's why I use the ADDIE model for this presentation. I feel like it makes the most straightforward sense, because anywhere you slice it, we tend to come back to ADDIE. Now, the way I look at it, I don't know if your experience with it, but we tend to focus this on distinct steps, right? So we have the analysis phase that we're going to conduct the learner analysis. Then we go into the high level design, which in our case, a lot of times is like a course design document, a course outline, course syllabus, things like that, right? So it just gives like that week by week or module by module structure, arranging the outcomes just to make sure that they're all being hit somewhere in there in the content. And then once all that's done, usually it goes, back to the client or back to the subject matter expert for a review. They give you, yep, that looks good, or no, please adjust this. And then once that's done, we go into the development phase, which is, in my experience, usually working with a subject matter expert in the field, a lot of times one-on-one, and slowly and painstakingly developing the content for the course, which usually means just a lot of writing, a lot of writing. So I totally understand what technical writing, how that leads into instructional design. Like, I was an English major, I was an English major for my undergraduate from Virginia Tech. And I found that undergraduate degree helped immensely with instructional design because so much of it is writing. Interestingly, kind of circling back, once we get more into AI, a lot of AI is writing too. Prompt engineering, the kind of fancy term, is really just communicating effectively with the AI. We'll get into that in a little bit here. So then after, development, it usually ends up in the hands of, again, like, the clients, the stakeholders, the subject matter experts from some sort of review. And then we all kind of keep our fingers crossed at that point that it's all good and they like it. And maybe they have some small edits and they don't kick it all the way back to the design phase, which I've seen happen. Clients will be like, no, this is not the right direction. I'm not a huge fan. We need to change this. I don't like these outcomes. And it's like, well, how come that wasn't seen in the design phase? Why is this only coming to light now that we've already done the articulate storyline slides and all this kind of stuff, right? So that, of course, I don't know what happens enough. I don't know what percentage, but it happens enough for it to be kind of a concern in the background. And then if that happens, it kicks it back to design development. And now we're in a whole other timeline, right? It extends it dramatically. So we're used to think of these as kind of separate phases. Then after we implement it, we evaluate it. And generally speaking, after evaluating it, we're back in the beginning. That serves the evaluation feeds into the next design and development. So we have this closing the loop or continuous cycle of improvement. So, however, I think that might be changing. So again, like, we've been thinking of these as separate phases, right? We're going to walk through each one, make sure everything's done. We have our documents and deliverables for each phase. And actually, this is, to your point earlier, one of the first phases that I see collapsing are these, the design and development. And obviously, we'll get to that a little bit. We'll get to that the next week, actually, when we start talking about design. But even when I was developing the series, I was thinking, I'm like, should we just do one webinar on design and development? Because AI is bleeding those into one phase now. And the reason why is, like, I'll show again the actual structure once we're in that webinar. But the reason why here is that once I start with the design, I find it really easy to just prompt GPT to give me that high level design, the outcomes, and it requires some adjusting because, again, like I was saying in the introduction one, it's not great with Bloom's taxonomy, so I often have to adjust that. But I can get a course design document done in maybe an hour. Maybe less. It depends, depending on how long the course is. Well, then I just use that document and slowly start developing, slowly for AI, use that to start developing the content with AI. Then I hand the whole thing over to a subject matter expert and just say, hey, review the content. Let me know if you see anything that jumps out at you that it's wrong, or especially if I'm not a subject matter expert in the field myself, right? So if it was on, civil engineering or something, I would try. I don't know if I can identify hallucinations and bias in the data since I don't know civil engineering that well. But if I had a subject matter expert, that could just take a look at the content, review it, and point out anything that might need adjusting. That's much easier to do. And because that only takes, maybe a day to do the whole process through the design and development, we can go through multiple iterations of this. So even if they don't really like it, they want to adjust it, creating a new version is not all that complicated, whereas it was before. However, as we start to go through here, and I think you'll start to see this through this presentation, it's starting to change even more, because with the analysis, because we're adding in so much speed and efficiency into this process, I think add really could be one step. We go from analyze, design, and then just start developing all in one straight go. Using, I think, different AI tools for these, but ultimately it allows that process to go much faster. So the reason I say this is, like, for example, when we work with clients that innovate AI systems, we've seen, like, it varies with the user, but we've seen up to about a 75% gain in efficiency. So that means that it takes a quarter of the time to develop or design or analyze something than it did before. That's phenomenal. So something that used to take a full month to do takes a week, maybe less. And it goes quicker as the tools get more specific and as the users get more proficient with it, right? So that's one of the first things I start to see changing now, is going straight from analysis into the high level design, into development. But like I said, the evaluation part is usually fed back into the analysis. So we have this continuous loop that's going on. So again, I think the E, since we can do a lot of, when I'll talk about this a little bit here too, we can do a lot of just-in-time adjustments because of the speed with which AI can do an analysis. It makes sense to use it during the process. So, like, say around midterms or something, maybe there's like a little survey, you have a little an AI bot that analyzes the data and just kind of gives you, like, here's how things are going. It looks like students may be struggling, and in this category and that category, maybe in the second half of the course, emphasize those more so they can catch up on those things, or those outcomes or objectives. However, I'm starting to see that I think what might happen is we might end up in like a two-step phase. There's the implementation is kind of standing out on its own, because that's the side that is student facing and live, that students or trainees, whoever they are interacting with it. And in the background, there's the ADDIE, which is gathering the data and analyzing it and providing real-time updates to the faculty members, to the instructional designers, about the effectiveness of the course and how it's working, or the material and how it's working. That's kind of where I see this going. And as we, like, for example, for one client, we were looking at, like, how long did it take to go from analysis, design, development for one course that was 14 hours long. So it's 14 hours long total. So how long did it take to develop all of that? And then at the end, there was actually, this was a real case where the client, they kicked it back and they had to do one other revision. Well, based on our calculations, what we were seeing is, in the time it took to do one initial draft, meet with the client, and then revise for the second draft, with AI, we could run through 40 different inferences, 40 different versions of that course in that same period of time. 40. So that's so many different iterations. To me, it makes sense to just kind of put them all in front of the client and be like, which one do you like? We can turn through this pretty quickly now. So the implement side, obviously, we wouldn't want to change everything on the fly with the students, because that might cause a lot of confusion. But ahead of them, the AI could be used to kind of customize the material. So how do we do that? Oh, yeah. Let me just kind of go over this real quick. We talked about this in the last webinar, but this is the prompting structure that I'm going to use throughout here. Give or take, like we can vary from this a little bit, but generally start with giving it a role or a job, explain to the AI what it's doing, who it is, what its role, what its task is. And then at some point I described the audience, details about the audience that is writing for. It's not, in our case, it's not just students. So if we have the AI set up to be a subject matter expert in a particular field, the audience might be us, for example. So describe your role. Who is it talking to? That will change dramatically. If you tell it it's talking to an instructional designer versus students, the writing style will change a lot too. And then instructions explain what it is, what it should do and how. And the structure, the format and structure of the output. The instructions and the structure, I've noticed as the AI advances, especially with 4.0, they update it every week in the background, even though like 4.0 is still 4.0, that hasn't changed. ChatGPT 4.0 is still 4.0 and has been for the last few months. Every now and then, especially monthly, I'll notice that the completion or the output is a little bit different and a little bit more improved. So I think the models do kind of learn on their own and get a little bit better after they release them. So this said, I usually put the identity first, but the others, I don't think it matters as much what order they're in, but of course we can experiment with that. Okay, so let me give you a real world example. I had a course that I was the instructional designer and oversaw the student completion of it, and just oversaw the curriculum aspects of a computer operating systems course. And it's interesting how in the image, the letters are melting off the screen, because that was kind of like what the course was, what was happening in the course. This, incidentally, just as sort of a footnote, is this is DALL-E 3. So this is ChatGPT's image generator. And as you can see, one of the things that often, in terms for our work in instructional design, that is really frustrating is that it's really bad with letters, as you can see here. This is actually a dramatic improvement.
Sorry, are you
Yes.
sharing, or do you need to be
I
sharing?
do. Yes. Are you not seeing anything?
No.
Let me jump back. Thank you for saying that.
Sure.
I must have turned off. Okay, screen to share. Okay,
yeah.
there we go. Back up now. Okay,
Yep.
let me jump. Okay, here we go.
Got it.
And so let me hop back. That's what I was talking about with ADDIE. So that wasn't up there, was it? I thought I had hit share. Thank you so much for jumping out. I did that. I did the same thing in the last one too. This is what I was talking about with ADDIE. I think these sort of processes will start to become more seamless. And then the only thing that will stand out is the students using it. Okay, and this was the prompting structure, identity, audience, instructions, and the structure or the format for the final output. One of the things that helps the structure the most, the format and output, is if you can give it an example document that you want it to mimic, and to just attach it to your chat. And we'll do that here coming up. Okay. So this was that DALL-E 3 image that I was talking about. This is computer operating systems is what this is supposed to say on the screen. They just recently, I think it was like last week or so, they did an update where theoretically the lettering in DALL-E 3 is better, but as you can see, it still leaves a lot to be desired. So for instructional images, I would keep that in mind. It's wonky in some ways. I also noticed that, I don't know, just as a side note, in terms of the I don't know, the quirkiness of AI, in the sense of that it's like the 80% will do like 80%, but that last 20% of accuracy is really kind of down to the human. And I didn't say anything in the prompt about roses or targets, but for some reason it decided to go with that theme and put roses and little target symbols all over the image, which I find very fascinating. But anyway, so this class, this computer operating systems class, kept showing up on our radar as being a particularly problematic class. It had the lowest end of course surveys of any class in that program. It was a game software program. And it had the lowest retention and the lowest course satisfaction. And we just constantly got complaints about it. Here's the problem, however. The course ran 4 times per year for about 4 years. So there are roughly, say, 20 students in each class. And each end of course survey, each faculty survey had 5 open-ended questions because we already had the analysis of the quantitative questions. Those came through very easily. We could put those in Excel and do whatever kind of magic in Excel we want. The qualitative answers, however, those were a little bit trickier to do because we had to just read through them manually, right? So that's about 1,600 comments to read through. And students sometimes they'll actually leave a comment that's provides information. Other times they'll just put in an A. Sometimes it'll be just like a bunch of random keys because they want to get past that question, so they'll just hit the keyboard a bunch of times and put in whatever. So they're not all like real comments. Prior to AI, so this was 2017, I believe. So with this, I had to read through those comments one at a time. And I remember like copying and pasting them into different categories and things like that, because qualitative analysis is quite time consuming. So we would stick to the quantitative analysis. So, but my sort of background with that is the quantitative numbers will tell you what is going on, but they won't tell you why. So for example, the quantitative, it said that students didn't like the class, basically, that it was on that Likert scale of 1 to 5, 5 being, yes, we love it, 1 being, no, we can't stand it. It was routinely 1 or 2. But it was in the qualitative comments that actually explained why that was the case. And it turns out in these 1,600, one of the common themes and jumped out quickly was, oh yeah, so this was, I asked DALL-E to visualize what it would be like to read all those surveys, and this is what it came up with. And I was like, yeah, that's good. That's maybe that's a little bit more than 1,600, but it's about what it felt like. So it was just overwhelming. And I remember like just happening to have the time to go through all this material for the course. So this is my image of doing this with AI versus the last one. So once we figured out what it was, it turns out what the problem was there was a glitch in the software that the students had to use. And what it did was that one little mistake when they tried to load it into their, I don't know what system they were using to write all the code, C++ or something like that. When they loaded it in there, it gave them 5,000 error codes in return. So the course was trying to troubleshoot every single one of those error codes. And by the time the 8-week course was done, they had just gotten the software to work. And then now the course was done. But it was buried in all the comments. And so once we found that out, I used that information, approached the faculty member, and we revised it, got that stuff corrected. And then it went literally in one term from the bottom to the top in that program in terms of student satisfaction, completion, stuff like that. So now what I would do is I would take all of those course surveys and put them into AI and ask AI to help me go through those 1,600 comments. How? Well, let me show you. Let's do that. Okay, so I'll jump in with our first kind of first of all, any questions so far? Good. Okay.
I
Yes.
have a question. I have a question. So, I mean, actually, just to go back a minute or two. So, I guess, and maybe you'll get into this more, but when you're uploading information to AI for it to build out the draft or, analyze the surveys, is this when, I guess they're like, some companies have their own internal AI system, and then, there's ChatGPT and all of that. Now, some companies are worried about giving out whatever proprietary information to ChatGPT, or like engineers work with code, for example. How does that work? Like, in instructional design, I haven't come
That's
across.
actually, yes, that is a very good question, actually. So one of the things that we have that I'm going to be using here is, if you notice down here, it says Innovate AI Systems Workspace Chats aren't used to train the model. So we have, and this is a solution for some schools, you'll get your own enterprise or private instance of ChatGPT, which is what this is. So these are not fed into their system at all, into their training data or anything like that. And that's something I would definitely recommend. Even then, actually, let me pull up. another site that actually is kind of helpful. And I have not used this personally, and I'm not affiliated with them or anything. But this is an example. So we talk a lot about ChatGPT as the AI, but that question that you had, Terry, is one that comes up a lot, right? It's like, wait a second,
Yeah.
whether it's medical or whatever, they're like, I don't want all this information to be put in there. And the way I talk about like the privacy, I compare it to like Google Docs or Microsoft Teams. So the information is being housed by this big company, and their privacy policy, they may say, yes, we do, or we do not use it for whatever purpose. But a lot of it is you're trusting the company not to, and to follow it. And these companies get hacked periodically and all that kind of stuff. Then that's when we see if they're doing it or not, right? So we've noticed that some places are using this one called private AI. And what this does, it's a interesting use of AI for a very, very targeted task. And this case is taking out all of the personal identifiable information from documents. And as you can see, they have a lot of different ones that are used. A lot of times this is used like between ChatGPT and a layer. So like on some of the systems that we've built, like if they have an interface, when they attach a document and upload it, that document doesn't go straight to ChatGPT. It actually would go through private AI, have all that information taken out, and then put into ChatGPT. That way, it's not even there. So even if it were to be leaked into the system, it's just not part of it. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, thanks. Yep.
Absolutely. Any other questions? I tend to move quick. Many of my students have told me to slow down, so I don't take offense to it anymore.
Actually,
I have a quick question.
Sorry.
What was the name of that website that you just listed?
Oh, yes. This is private-ai.com. Here, let me put it in the chat.
-ai.com. Okay.
Yes.
Have a good day.
And they are the layer between the user and ChatGPT. So, I mean,
yes, to kind of, well, they can be, depending on how it's built. Like you could do it manually yourself if you have a, what's the word? Account with them. Why couldn't think of that word? Then you could upload your own documents. Just another step in the process. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. That's a great resource.
You're welcome, Yvonne. Yes, this is a great one. I know. I really like this.
Yeah.
One. Terry, did you have another question?
Oh yeah, I was just going to mention when I said I had a question a few minutes ago. So I've worked, at my last job, we moved actually over to Agile, to following the Agile process for building instructional design. And I don't know if any of you have ever used it. It's very different than ADDIE or Llama or whatever the other models are. So I was just wondering, like, what you're showing us now, can you use that with an Agile model, which, deals with like epics and stories and all of that stuff?
Oh, interesting. Let me tell you what, I don't know Agile enough to integrate it into this particular presentation, but let me take a look at it and I can jump in with design development.
Okay, yeah, sure.
And things like that. Yeah. Because I'm sure it can, but yeah, you're right. It'll be a slightly different take on it from this one.
Right.
So let me show an example of how I would use this with the survey data. So here I have, so here I have, this is like an export from the LMS on end of course surveys. And this particular one, so if I can control down, is 101 entries. So to read through all of this would take quite a lengthy amount of time, right? That's going to be a little bit. So for this, what I'm going to do instead, save that. We're going to go here. Let's say.
So she had a female with her today, back here and stuff. So you wrote those letters? Yep. Yeah, I see that probably junior on there and stuff, which is good, but.
Okay, so now I'm going to attach the, there we go, attach the survey. And then I'm just going to give it this really quick prompt. So first of all, like this statistics 214 with 101 students. I wish I had 101 students in my stat classes when I would teach those. It was usually like 5, but for this purpose, I need a bigger data set. So this time I'm just going to say attaches my course survey responses from my Introduction to Statistics and Research Methods course. Help me analyze and understand this data. So this time I'm just going to give it something real vague because I'm curious what it's going to do. And this is always good to see analyzing. It means it's looking at this file and actually working with it. Sometimes it doesn't say that and it'll pop up and just give you an answer real quick. And if you're reading it and the answer seems really generic, it probably because it didn't actually read the file. So it's one thing I always kind of look for. So what I want to kind of point out with this though, is this is all it's doing from a two-sentence prompt. And this is what it gives me back. Okay, so here's a summary and analysis of the data. Quantitative feedback. Oh, it didn't put the numbers in. Interesting. So I'm gonna hit the refresh here for that one. But this is the part I really wanted to look at, the qualitative feedback. It gives me sort of common themes about these. It gives what did you like least? So issues raised, the technical being dry and difficult to follow. Some of the lecture videos being too long. How could it be improved? So this one in particular, how could the course be improved, right? Suggestions include more support on the discussion boards, shorter lecture videos, and a slower pace to cover complex topics. So next, oh, here we go. Next steps. Now it's calculating for the quantitative information. Now it's calculating average scores. This is a Likert scale, 1 to 5, 5 being strongly agree. So it gives all those. Again, insights. So this is what I mean from a 2-sentence prompt. It can do a lot of this information just on its own. So let's say, so qualitative analysis survey, here's, okay, so this is more information about what it came from, what came out of the comments and the, okay, were there any topics you wish had been covered more thoroughly? Advanced statistical methods, ethical considerations and research. So as a designer, as an instructional designer, the way I would use this kind of thing is jumping in here and looking at these specifically. So I'm looking at, okay, how can I improve this course? What did students say they wanted more of? Here it's going to give some recommendations, but let's ask it something far more specific. Here we go. So let's tell it, I'm revising my course for next semester. What aspects of the curriculum do students like and what aspects make me revision based on the students' comments? So the reason I'm kind of phrasing it this way is I'm giving it the context of, okay, here's what I'm doing with this. This is, I want recommendations for something in the future. What aspects of the curriculum do they like? What aspects need revision? Based on the students' comments. So I'm saying specifically based on the comments, look at that and let me know what this is. So let's see how it gives it here. Okay. Up a little bit that we can let it do its thing while we take a look at what it's already completed here. So this is aspects students liked, engaging teaching style. So it's like, okay, I can take this into account and be like, okay, we're not gonna, well, this is more for the faculty member, but you're like, well, that's good to know. Interactive, a dynamic approach to teaching. We'll make sure we do that next time. Hands-on assignments, found those to be valuable. Good to know. As a teacher, that was one of the things that I would often kind of wonder about. Like sometimes I would have an idea for an assignment, but maybe it didn't work well for the students, right? So practical assignments helped at understanding and applying course concepts. That's good. So here's the part that, okay, needing revision. Okay, textbooks. Several students found the textbooks dry and difficult to follow. What I like about this, though, consider selecting a textbook more engaging and providing supplementary materials that are easy to understand. So let's say, let's use this kind of continue through an analysis. So let's say well, if this is one of the suggestions, help me find new ones. And then we'll kind of get through here as well. So these are some of the additional ones that it's talking about changing. So coverage of topics, students which are more thorough, covered of advanced statistical methods and ethical considerations. So that would be content I would want to add. Okay, so let's just say, yeah, help me find new textbooks and supplementary materials. Let's see what it does with this. And here we go. Oh, I might have to tell it to provide links.
I have a question right here. How
Yes.
how does it know that it just did a search for you and that you're still talking about said search? How does it know that you're not moving on to another search? Does it automatically assume that you're talking about what you just previously got a search on?
Yes, I see what you're
Okay.
getting at. Yes, I
Okay.
see what you're asking. Yeah, that's a very good question. So this is one of those things where it's different than Google. If it's part of this thread, then anything I type in here, it's assuming that I'm referring to what came first, all this kind of information. If I start something brand new, it won't know what I was talking about. So if I start a new chat, it's not going to know the document that I just uploaded. Does that make sense, Yvonne? Okay.
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Thank you.
So let's say, okay, we have some books that we could look at, and it gives little samples of each one and how we could do it. Oh, here we go. Supplementary materials. Good old Khan Academy, of course, for stats. It's always in there. I love how it recommends external courses too, but it's not biased. It recommends all kinds of different things. So we can start using this again to start building out some of this content. So for example, I did mention ethics. So recommendations to evaluate, choose material, integrate supplementary materials, seek student feedback. Okay, yeah, that's what we would do after we implemented it. We would ask the students about the change or whatever. So let's just say, help me. So let's say, since we're in here and it said, okay, what about ethical considerations when it comes to this? So let me just tell it, help me design a new module on ethical considerations. And again, to your point, Yvonne, it knows that this is all that previous context. So here we go. The memory updated is an interesting piece too, because it's saying, to your point, this is what it's going to keep in its memory. So it knows I'm working on revising this course. So any other question I type in, it's going to kind of think of that along those lines. So here it puts it just in the straightforward format. Help me design a new module on ethical considerations. And here we go. Again, this is something I'd probably edit the objectives real quick. Scenarios, yeah, not bad. So this is week 1, session 2. So as you can see, the format, and since I didn't give it a format as part of that structure, just because I'm trying to type it in quickly, because I didn't give it a format, it's going to give me all kinds of different things. So it's like week 1, session 1, session 2, week 2, session 3. What I was thinking in my head when I said a module was like one short, maybe one class or something like that, like 1 hour long class or something, like not week 1, week 2. So that leads into kind of the next part of it. It's like, well, this is helpful for dropping in this kind of information. But at the end, a little bit, it's 11:45 already. Once we get a little bit further in, I'll show you something a little bit different with it as well, and how to make this far more consistent. For now, though, let me show you another piece. So let's say that was the end of course student feedback. So let me start a new chat, and let me upload something a little bit different. So let's say instead of just one course, we want to look at everything system-wide. So this spreadsheet that I'm going to open here, I'll show you where this is from. So this spreadsheet is 7,298 rows long. And there's quite a lot of letters and numbers in here. What this is and it's available for free online, which is like why I like to use it as test data. So this is from the Colorado Department of Education. It's the CSAP TCAP data and results. So the CSAP test is one of the standardized tests that students take to move on from one grade to another, right? So I downloaded, in this case, the writing scores for grades 3 to 10 for every single district in Colorado, which is why it's 7,298 lines long. This is all numbers, but one of the things I want to show with how to use this in analysis is if I close this out, like to go through this, just I could, you could start putting in formulas, maybe another tab, and analyzing information that way, or we can go here, attach, and I always like to let it know what it is looking at. So in this case, we are looking to approve curriculum across districts, act as our data analyst and consultant, and provide answers based on the attached data set. So in this case, what I'm doing is telling it kind of, okay, here's what we're doing, here's the context, and here's its role. The other pieces of that, like the format and how I want the information, I'm going to do that through the conversation itself. So initially, I'm going to give it this 7,000 row data set and see what it will produce for us. And what I find really interesting about it is that it starts to go through really not much longer. It didn't take it much longer to do this one than it did the one with 101 rows. So this is giving me, so what this is doing here is it's telling me what the rows are. It's giving me an identification of those, which, while it may seem sometimes like kind of a waste, I like it when AI does this because it lets me know what it's seeing. If it doesn't do this, I'm not quite sure sometimes if it will understand it correctly. So for example, percentage of students scoring partially proficient in 2013. The row, or the column rather, the header is just this. So it was able to use this little piece of text and understand that that is what it meant, that's what it meant, which is great because that's a piece that we don't have to explain to it. It will figure that out on its own, which is why this is good, because then we can see if it's doing it correctly. So let me scroll down because there's a lot of rows there. Okay, performance trends. We have how did this do? Are there any notable improvements to lines? Let's see. Let's take. Okay, here we go. Oh, I see. It's going through these questions right here. So let's start by analyzing the performance trends from 23 to 24, or 2013, 2014. We're all calculating all the changes. Oh, yes. Okay, so this is actually interesting too. I wanted to give it this data set for precisely that reason. In here, these are all entered as, a lot of these are entered as text, not as numbers. So in order to start changing this in Excel, that it's quite a cumbersome and manual process to do that. However, ChatGPT, the AI, sees that number, says to us, nope, this is probably supposed to be a number, and changes them to numerical values, cleans up the data, and then just continues with the calculations. And then here we go. So it starts giving us all the different percentages for the different scores. Partially proficient, like, okay. Oh, and it's going to keep going. Next steps, identify factors for success. Let's do this. Let's tell it, I have a different prompt, but I'm just curious. I'm just curious what it will find. Identify factors for success using the data, since that was its suggestion. Oh, here we go. Okay, so it's letting us know what it's going to do. That little analysis that popped up let us know that's kind of, it's thinking, it's working, it's crunching the numbers. Okay, the correlation. Okay, we have the correlation coefficient between the percentage of students receiving free and reduced lunch and change of proficiency interventions, approximately 0.021, indicates a very weak positive correlation. That's interesting. That will interpret the number for you, so you don't have to remember what the R squared and all those different things are, how they're doing that. So here we go. Top performers. We'll look at the schools at the top. Oh, I don't know if it did that. Bottom performers analysis. Let's see. So Mapleton, let's see, you can pull, these are all interactive in here, and I'll show all the scores that I calculated through here. These are of course downloadable as either CSV, comma separated values, which is like a kind of the plain text version of a spreadsheet, and then once you open it in Excel, then you can save it as an Excel file. Bottom performers. It shows you the grade, the advanced, the proficient. The zeros are from, some of the districts don't have any data entered in certain columns, which throws off Excel pretty bad, but I like that ChatGPT knows how to get through that. And again, in more analysis, top performers, average change between the two, percent free and reduced lunch change down 20%. Interesting. This one, even though it's suggesting qualitative factors, I don't think it can do based on the current data set, because there isn't any qualitative data in it. This is kind of, this suggestion is actually interesting. This is why I honestly, there's a trend right now that's just started to change the name of AI from artificial intelligence to augmented intelligence. And this kind of response is why I like that new term, augmented intelligence. It's an augment to our own human intelligence. But like, we would be able to look at this sheet and say, well, we can't do any qualitative analysis on it because there is no qualitative data in there. It's all numbers. ChatGPT, on the other hand, doesn't often know that. It's trying to be a helpful assistant and give lots of different suggestions wherever it can. One thing that we could do with it, though, is to combine it with other data sets to give much more robust analysis going forward. Are there any questions that, if you have questions that you want to query the data set, we can give those a try and see what comes up, whether we're talking the survey data or this big district side data. Okay, so
I have a comment. It's interesting what its decisions are in terms of, it says, here are the steps we will take. So it's like very definitive. And I guess the one thing that pops into my head is how does it come up with those decisions? Like,
yes,
how does
very
it
good
know?
question.
Yeah. So
very good question. And what if it's following its own process? What if you have your own? Like, it's like,
right.
This is great that it's doing this, but we have our own format that we want to look at, right?
Right.
That's coming. Yes, we're going to get to that. And because we're at 11:55, let me just jump back in here and just show this little piece here. Oh yeah, system-wide data. Could we show that? When it comes to historical data, one of the things that we're a lot of times that we're sitting on as instructional designers, because I know like educators, we love to gather data. We just love it. We just gather all this data, all this stuff about the courses, all this stuff. We have all the archive documents, the drafts, this, that, all this kind of just is sitting in archives, but we don't really do much with it. It's kind of cumbersome to go through. Well, now we can. AI gives us a great tool to be able to use all kinds of different data sets in different ways. Qualitative feedback from surveys, like we saw, course evaluations, especially the open-ended responses. In fact, I've started shifting a lot of the way I do like quizzes, tests, things like that, because AI is so much better at processing natural language. I'm dropping the multiple choice and shifting it to open-ended questions and responses that way, because it's easier to use that than it is the numbers, which is a complete 180 from the way it was like a couple of years ago. So grades, test scores, assignment completion rates, participation levels, information on students' socioeconomic backgrounds, including parental education levels, whatever you can export, say from the learning management system or a student management system, can go in there, and then you can start querying it like we were doing with the system-wide data with the 7,000 rows. So with that one, instead of looking through it one step at a time, you can start interacting with it as if it were we can discuss with it what we want to do, kind of, for example, like we're doing here. So we can give it different prompts. And so if you're a faculty member or instructional designer, you can query that large data set for all kinds of different information if you want, which is not something we could do before, especially if you didn't know like SQL or one of those database languages. But now this gives us a natural language way to interact and work with these things. And I believe, so one of the other things I wanted to touch base on, because this was something we brought up. So analysis / evaluation, this sort of loop that goes back. These two pieces I'll talk about in the evaluation one, but evaluating based on industry advisors and standards, we had, so let's say we want to give the curriculum to an industry expert, say in operating systems or radiology or whatever that might be, and say, hey, I want you to take a look at this. Well, the whole curriculum, like for the whole program, let us know if we're missing any pieces, or we called it an industry advisory board at a couple schools that I was at. And it's really, it's challenging to get people to participate on those boards, industry professionals to participate on the boards. Usually we have to pay them and compensate them, and then scheduling with 5 people and all that kind of stuff can be quite cumbersome. Usually they're really busy too, and they don't have a whole lot of time to read through all the content. But what we would do now is create our own little industry experts based in AI by explaining to it the role, giving it to the curriculum, and then having it evaluate it. Not the same as having a person look at it for sure, but definitely better than just kind of winging it from scratch, so to speak. So Terry, this is the one where I wanted to get your, this is where we're going to talk about what you were just asking. So the customization part of this. So there's a lot in here. So if we're going to go back here, and like you said, with these steps and writing it out and how to get it to do that, there's a learning curve when it comes to how to get the AI to understand what it is that we want it to do. Say, for example, the consistent format, right? Also, if say a faculty member, instructional designer, just on my own, this method right here puts a lot on me to understand how the AI works so that I can use it effectively. And it gives me some suggestions here, but what if I wanted something a little bit more robust, something that was a little bit more predetermined, more predictable? That's the kind of stuff that we work with a lot. So we kind of take that burden off, because there's a lot of parts. This again was one of those images where I asked DALL-E to visualize what it was like to build a custom version with a lot of moving parts in the background. And this is what it came up with, which I thought was good. I'm like, so there's this, there's the machine, and then there's these different pieces to kind of move around and do that. But there's quite a learning curve when it comes to creating one. So let's say I wanted to create one where it's just a drag and drop system. Faculty could come in, instructional designer can come in. We're like, okay, look, we have the end of course survey data. We need to analyze it for specifically things that we want to be able to revise in the next ones. We have our own structure, to your point, Terry. We have our own structure that we want to do this. This is one that I built for that purpose. So in the background, this has the identity, the role. It knows what it's supposed to do already, so I don't need to tell it anything. So that's why I added that. I help you quickly analyze course surveys. And it also knows the audience that it's working for. It's going to develop these for faculty and give it back to the faculty, the analysis. And it also has the format built into it. So it's going to give me a very consistent format. And this is just kind of like let's say I'm a faculty member, I just jumped in here and I say, okay, well, what is this? Let's get started. Okay, upload my course survey data. All right, let's do that. I'm going to use that same file. Okay. Okay, here we see the analyzing again. Okay. This time we have a much more sort of manageable format that it's using here. And this time I also said, and I just kind of made up the number for this purpose. But let's say the college, you have a college wide or what a system wide standard of what these scores should be. So it's like, hey, we want anything where the standard, everything where the mean is going to be below. I just chose 4.12. For this type of course, we're going to flag as possibly problematic and possibly in need of revision. Probably should be more realistically more like 3.12. But as you can see, I asked it to do that very thing. It goes through, produces the mean for all the different scores, the standard deviation. I always like to see a standard deviation with a mean. And then whether it's above or below the standard, which I realized when I for the average to be over at or above 4.12, the scores have to be all pretty high. So these are in fact all below, but if this was say set to 3.12 or 3.15, whatever standard that you want is programmed in there, and we'll give you a comparison, a benchmark, say. Okay, this is oh well. This is what it looks like when it writes code. In this case, Python code to create a graph, which apparently it did not actually create. So we'll just move past that here. So now it's going through the comments, and I asked it specifically to look for these things. What did they say about the faculty performance? What did the comments say about the curriculum, the supporting materials, the textbook, class dynamics, and then in particular, a curriculum analysis based on it. So I'm assuming that they're going to upload this. Say I was a faculty member, I wanted to upload this and say, or an instructional designer working on this program, and I want to just see if there's any changes that we should make, just preliminarily based on the end of course survey data. In that case, this tool is already, all the gears are already in there. So it knows when it gets this particular piece of information, this is what it's supposed to produce with it. It requires some tinkering to get it to do that. But here, this probably could be more robust. I like to tell it sometimes to do more in this. But again, the course organization, we had kind of saw that before. In this case, it's pulling it from the scores, and the feedback suggests a better pacing. So it pulled the quantitative and the qualitative, and I was asking it to compare those two to triangulate its data, basically. And then it went through course objectives. These are all pieces that I was asking it to kind of specific pieces that I was asking it to take a look at. Does that kind of answer your question a little bit, Terry, in the sense of if I wanted it to produce something consistent in a standard format, this would be a way I would do that?
Yeah, it does. So I guess another question that pops into my head is, so you said that the gear base or some of the gears are already in place, like the base gears or whatever. So you're sort of building it out in terms of your course survey analyzer, so to speak.
Yes. Yeah, I kind of build this out. Let me show you what I'm doing. So if I edit this, then I can go into sort of these are the gears. These are the gears that I can tinker with. There's actually there's more that I can tinker with, but I didn't put that in here at this particular time. On yours, if you have like a personal account, the $20 a month personal account, on the bottom under here, it's not here because we have a Teams account. On the bottom under here will be an extra option that will say, a checkbox that will say, share your information or allow OpenAI to use this to train their models. If you uncheck that box, then it unchecks it. And then it will stay, theoretically again, private to this. But that pops up down below. It's in here that I make tell it what to do and how to do it. These are these overall instructions. So this, if I jump back here, I take a lot of this information and put it in here. That way you don't have to enter it into every prompt. These sort of hashtags and formatting are something called markdown language. With these hashtags, and these are headers. So one hashtag is heading 1, 2 is heading 2, 3 is heading 3, and so forth. It helps it understand what it's looking at. And that, say, for example, that is not actually part of the instructions that it's supposed to follow. It's just section header for a different piece of what it's supposed to look at. So that's the hashtag in all caps are from that there. But that's the piece of this, all this in the background is how it's kind of working on the format and following that standard structure. You can also upload files to it as well, so it can work with something like an example document or example formatted document that it's supposed to create in the end. And if I go update, and yep, and then we kind of flip around to the user interface part of it, and then we can use it from there. But this is like kind of an iterative process that I would kind of jump back in and out of in order to be able to develop these kinds of tools for clients and whatnot. So let's see.
That's great. Thanks.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
That is great. Can I ask a couple questions?
Absolutely. That was the slide I was looking for, was questions. Yes.
Perfect. Perfect. Let me tell you, this is amazing. I would have loved to have this when I was the institutional researcher at the college and had to do all the analysis of the surveys. This is awesome. So I guess you were just talking about uploading the data sets. Can you upload multiple sets, or does it have to be on in one file?
Oh, no, that's a great question. Oh, wait, I did not share my screen. Let me do that. Yes, that's a great question. And thank you for asking that, because it just dawned on me too, that one of the things I was going to say, which is super cool, it can be from not only multiple data sets. So let's do that and that. I have no idea what it's going to do if I upload both of these. Or changes let's see. Oh yeah, here we go. So it's got 1 and 2 here. The other thing I wanted to add too, it doesn't have to be Excel either. So let me see if I can find real quick. So one of the things that I like to do, you could actually, not only does it not have to be Excel, it could be a Word format, it could be a PDF format, or you can take a picture of it and give it the picture, and it can pull the information out of the picture and use that for the analysis. So like a lot of times the way we would get our end of course surveys at RAMCAD was as a PDF. I'm trying to see if I can find that for me. It was the one I was using as an example, I think, in the intro. But even as a PDF, it can go through the PDF and look at that and pull out the numbers from the PDF and pull out the qualitative information and handle it in much the same way. So in this case, yes.
So you can pull out the information out of SurveyMonkey, those charts and graphs, because they don't talk to one another. I can't, because we have a less costly version, and so I can't compare 3 different survey results. So I could upload all those and do the analysis.
And just and ask it to compare them. Yeah, and ask it to compare them. I know it is, isn't it? Yeah, yeah.
I'm drooling over here.
Yeah.
So I guess my next questions are kind of go back to the ethical piece when you were talking about advisory committees, and you're spot on trying to get folks to participate. One of our requirements in our standards is that they have to do analysis of their student learning outcomes at least once a year. And the struggle is You know, they've got administrators and clinical folks who really are not familiar with the assessment process and things like that. So how ethical is it that they could upload this into AI and spit out that and say, this was my analysis and I gave the information to our advisory committee?
Yeah. So if they, that's a really good question. First of all, I would never do that. I would never just put it in there and then copy and paste and say that's it. Like I've noticed many times, especially with the quantity, it's weird saying this out loud, especially with the quantitative data, it's not all that great. I would always double check its math. Even its basic addition and subtraction are often wrong. And the reason for that is it's a large language model. So it's actually way better at processing language than it is numbers. Which is sort of, at least for me, it's counterintuitive. When I think of computers, I think of numbers. It's really good at that, really bad at understanding language. Well, that script has kind of been flipped. So, but either way, in terms of putting that in there, that's the way I would address that is a couple ways. One, that's one where Terry, your question, I think kind of comes in handy too. It's like, so if there's a standard tool that they're uploading it to, as opposed to just ChatGPT, and then they prompt it with whatever they want and say, hey, analyze this in whatever way it comes up for it, which is going to be different each time by ChatGPT's default. But if you're using that custom GPT where we know exactly what its information it's going to spit back out, or at least what format it's going to spit the information back out in, and how it's going to derive that information, that to me is a lot more straightforward, and I think would ease a lot of the ethical concerns around that. Either way, I would still double check it and always have that human involved. So like I was saying the last time, I think of it kind of like an 80-20, 90-10 kind of split. AI is great at that first 80%. I'll get you that initial draft, that initial analysis of all the data, and then kind of like that last 20% as a human kind of looking through it. In this case, the teacher. So for example, the data set that I was using for the stat students, right? I was teaching stats for, it was one of my favorite classes. I taught stats to art education majors, and they dreaded that class, but it was so much fun because of that. But one of the things that they never asked was they want to get into more advanced statistics. They never said that. So what I did in order to get my end of course survey data was I used ChatGPT. I gave it the class had, I think, like 5-6 students at the time. So I gave it that and I said, I need 100 of these. Use that as an example and just churn out 100 different ones. And it entered in, we wish that there were more advanced topics. So I'm like, yeah, I'm sure the AI wishes that. I doubt my students did. So that's one, like as the teacher, I would look at it and be like, yeah, I don't know about that. Like, flag it as a question mark or something. Like, I didn't see that in my class. I think that'd be very odd. And then I would look more into it and see, okay, where is it? So in that case, you could ask ChatGPT to pull out those things. Okay, what did they say about the textbook? Or what the advanced topic, sorry. I'm trying to be conscious of time without, because this is like, I agree with you, this is like such a fun rabbit hole to go down.
Yeah.
Because there's so many different things that it can do. And you're right, I reflect back on the way I used to kind of do this a couple of years ago, and I'm like, oh man, this would be so much faster with
Right.
this tool.
I have one more question I don't want to
Yes.
hog in case Terry wants to ask some more other things too, is that in terms of instructional design, I mean, you had those images. Do you have to reference those images any? If I wanted to use them in my storyline, in my articulate modules, do you have to reference them, or are they open images, or what do you do with those?
That's a really good question. So what I've been doing is just putting that they were created by DALL-E 3 or ChatGPT, kind of the same thing, and considering them at that point that they're open source. You know what I mean? Like, so it's, if I did a Google image search for something and found an image that I wanted to use in my slideshow or whatever, and it was Creative Commons or open source or whatever, so all it needed was the citation or the reference. I treat it much the same way. One thing you can do, let me show you this real quick too, speaking of citations and whatnot. share. One way to sort of cite your source, if you will, with this whole thing. Let me take something from here. So these are all the conversations that I've had. This was the course survey. Actually, so I'll show you what I did. I used it to first generate the survey and then generate the data for the survey. This was what the first one did to produce it, and this is what it scored it as, and then created the 100 and downloaded it as a CSV in this case. Trying to find something a little bit longer. So let's take one of these and let's say, okay, I did my survey analysis here, so I wanted to cite that. This up here in the corner, share chat, if I click that, I get a link. So if I do this with this link, let me share it with y'all. So if I take that link and share it with you, you will be able to see, but not interact with, this whole thread. And that way, if someone is curious, it's like, so to your point, Trish, about like the ethics of, oh, I just threw it in there and this is my analysis, but you want to see like, okay, well, did you actually have a conversation with the AI? Did you press it for more investigation, or was it literally a single prompt and you just copied and pasted and gave it to you? You can ask for that link, and then you can take a look at the whole conversation from start to finish and what went on, and check it and see what they asked and see if they revised it. And of course, there's the completion, what the AI produced, and then in the little bubble, where did it go? Where's those little bubbles? Here we go. And the little bubbles are these are what the user entered. And that's one way. If you have just like an image, let's see, where are those images? I think yeah, I don't know what happened to my little images. But that would be how I would like cite it, so to speak. And I have a feeling that, this APA, MLA, those kinds of things, at some point they're going to start noticing this and including that. It's like, okay, when you're citing something that's produced by AI, include that link. Because to me, the real magic of AI isn't so much in the single upload and analysis. It's the conversation that you can continue to have with the data as time goes on.
Thank you. That's great.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
So I have another question as I'm.
Yes, go for it.
All these things are going through my head. So one thing, so at my last company, I was in charge of coming up with standards and guidelines, for example, for, grammar, and accessibility, right? I mean, accessibility is huge now, as you guys probably know. So, can you, like, if you wanted Chat GPT to, generate your first draft of, whatever you're writing about, can you give it a document and tell it to follow the standards that is explained in the document?
Yes, you can. I don't have an example queued up at the moment for that to work, but that is something that we've built before. And yeah, we'll have a lot of times the standards could be like a style guide. That's one
Right.
that we'll have uploaded.
Right.
Others are kind of like the way, Trish, like you might see like with the curriculum standards. Okay, it has to be this setup. It has to meet this criteria. It has to meet this criteria. Yes, so that that's how we would build that kind of custom solution. We'd load all that in the background, so that the AI always knows to reference this information when it gets whatever the user uploads or it decides to put in there. So in this case, let's say they were going to put in their curriculum, right? So evaluate this based on the style guide and these standards. Right. And yes, it does it, and it does it remarkably fast, like so fast. I'm like, did it even read the standards? but it does. And that's where kind of the part of it is like, well, in order to verify that as a human, I want to make sure, I want to be able to trace its thought process. So I'll ask, instead of just giving me like evaluate it, yes, no, to cite the standard that it's looking at as to yes,
Oh.
no. And then that's like, so we had one, it was a real estate curriculum. So there were quite a long, lengthy list of standards that, and all the standards, I think it was a list of like, I don't know, 50, 60 different items. And the only thing it referred to was creating the assessments. That was this standards for the multiple choice assessment. It was very particular. And so I just told it, hey, that's the standards in this document. Read them over, follow them when you do this. And to my great surprise and great relief, it did it pretty straightforward. It just jumped in. And then I started to modify it a little bit. So, okay, put in the citation, put in the reference. If it doesn't meet the standard, provide a suggestion of how it could meet the standard. So it would start doing that too. And I'll tell you, if you drop in, with those standards, you drop in a document with like 100 multiple choice questions and ask it to evaluate those, then you get a cup of coffee and come back. And by the time you're back, it's done. Like, I don't know how long it would take manually. It would take forever to go through one by one by one, which is what they're doing currently. And that's what, because of that speed, that's why I'm really kind of thinking maybe it is kind of more toward agile or something, but the ADDIE, it's going to start getting compressed and compressed and compressed. So those phases start, kind of bleeding together or blurring together, I guess I should say. Great question though. And I'll cue that up in the evaluation one too. I'll take a look at of how to do that.
That's
Because it's a
very
great
cool.
example.
I mean, and the other, just one other quick thing. So, like in terms of, conversational tone and instructional design writing, for example, second person, first person, blah, blah, blah. It wouldn't be first person, it would be second or third person.
Mhm.
Can you specify that, or like, I don't know.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And that's something that I would do like with writing samples and things like that. So let me start making notes. So these questions are great. So are going to add these to, especially the development part of it, because that's where we'll start really getting into the language and everything. But yes, absolutely. So a lot of times I'll give it like a writing sample. This is another like use of a lot of the historical data that we keep. So a lot of times we have like old versions of courses or many different iterations of courses. Those can easily be uploaded, and then telling the AI, those documents are a sample of our writing. That's what we want you to use.
Right.
And it will just mimic that style, but which is how it's trained on the systems. This is how it's trained as an AI in the first place. So it's really good at that. That's sort of a side project that we had in a similar kind of style. It was a friend of mine writes books, spiritual guidance books. And like, it's kind of like, like every day of the year kind of thing. He'll have a little blurb about that day.
Nice.
He has 3 books. So I'm putting them all in there, and now you can talk with the book. So it will pull all of it and write new things, but it sounds just like him.
Oh, I like
that. It's a very neat one. I was like, okay, but then we can start doing this with all kinds of different content. To your point. Yeah.
So the other, just one other quick thing.
No, go for it. Yeah.
So actually, I was just thinking, people need to be careful about how they refer to anything in terms of not offending people.
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean, I think. And so that needs to be paid attention to in training and in anything. So that's something else that AI can be careful of.
It is, and that one is a little trickier at times, like in terms of the bias and trying to get the AI, in my experience, trying to get the AI to be unbiased biases it more. It doesn't know how not to do that or something.
Yeah.
And so I'll try to give it some guidelines and then read it through.
Okay.
And it can avoid obvious. It can avoid obvious ones.
Yeah, I get
it's
it.
usually fairly good at that. Yeah.
I'm being nitpicky, but you do have to be careful.
But that is a good point. And that's why, again, I kind of say it's like an 80-20, 90-10. Like there's this last little edge of it that I always recommend a person reading over or looking at, and just to verify for things like that. And one of the weird things about AI, which is true, but often doesn't seem like it's true, is it doesn't understand the meaning of what it's writing. it doesn't know what the words mean. It just knows that that word sounds like it comes next. The LLMs like ChatGPT, believe it or not, are basically just autocomplete. So if you like on your phone or on Gmail or whatever, it would suggest like the next couple words. It's like, oh, I think you're doing this. Like that, it's essentially the same thing, only instead of a couple words, it can predict thousands that might come next. And they're getting better and better at doing that. But because it's just predicting them, it doesn't actually know what the words mean. And I've noticed it uses words strangely. So I'm like, that's not how a human would use that, but okay.
It's a work in progress. Yeah.
It's a work in progress, but it's pretty good. And like a lot of those kind of concerns, I think were true, like with GPT 3.5 Turbo from last year. But each iteration, they get better and better and better and better at reducing reducing bias, reducing the incorrect information, hallucinations, and
yeah, that's great.
Sounding. Yeah. Oh, and the other part of it is telling that the audience that you're writing for can help a lot with that too.
Yeah, that's true.
Because now it's like, okay, I'm writing to this group, so it doesn't throw in generic kind of random things. Yeah.
Interesting. Wow.
Any other questions?
Oops.
Here, well, we're.
Can't think of anything.
No, I'm good too. This was a great session.
Yeah,
thank you. Yes. Thank you both for hopping in and joining us on this. I just pulled this up. This was in the email as well, but this is the schedule for the next one. It's basically same time each week for the next 4 weeks. So next time we'll hop in design. That'll be really interesting. And then development and Terry, a lot of the questions that you were asking very specifically, we'll get into in there, tone of voice and things like that. Implementation, which is exciting because that's more of like a student facing AI. And then evaluation, which is what we were talking about, like evaluating based on standards and things and criteria. And then, which of course, the idea would be that would feed back into the analysis and then back through the whole process, right? That's the ideal, like, which I think honestly will happen a lot more now that AI can make that closing the loop way faster to do. But like, just as an individual, it was so difficult to read through everything and try to constantly change things.
Well, I will not be here next week. I'm very sad about that. I've got strategic planning, so I will be in the office. So I will miss you guys, but this has been great. I can't wait to watch the recording.
Yes, we'll definitely send you the recording of the one for next week too. Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you very much.
Good questions for me, Terry.
What's that?
Ask some more good questions.
Oh, I will. I'll come up with a list. Don't worry. I'll connect with you on LinkedIn. How about that?
Thanks.
Oh yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that. Well, thank you again. This is really good.
Yes, thank you both for attending. Yes, I'm glad you enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to the next one. I'll send you the recording as soon as Zoom has that all processed and ready to roll. And I will see you next week. In the meantime, if you have any other questions, or if you think of any questions that you want to submit for the next one, feel free to either drop me an email at info at here, let me type it in, info at innovateaisystems.com. Let me type that in. Where did it go? Oh, that's right. I thought I was sharing my screen again. I'm not. Or you can connect with me on LinkedIn and like you were doing, Terry, and just ask me on LinkedIn too. I'm up on there a lot.
Cool. Good.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you
guys.
Yes.
Have a good week.
Great rest of your day. That's a great week.
You too.
Thanks.
Right, I'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.